In this video, we will create a new project for creating some Jakarta EE servlets. And to do this, we'll be using IntelliJ IDEA Ultimate Edition IDE. So to run this, first I'll go to my Launchpad and I will launch my IDE. I will use the IntelliJ IDEA. This should be IntelliJ IDEA Ultimate Edition, version 2021.3.1 preview edition. I'll create a new project. So now my new project dialog box is open. I will name Jakarta EE recipes and then I will call it chapter 1. This is the name of my new project. Its directory structure is shown here, the location. Then the project template. I'll choose the web applications because I have to use servlet. So it will give me servlet, then web.xml and index.jsp. Next, I'll choose my application server, which is Glassfish 6.2.3. I have installed it in the folder. Already I have configured it. So this is installed in my directory, which is in my Macintosh directory. I have within home directory the Glassfish server installed. This is Glassfish 6.2.3, which is the recent version at this time. So I have configured it, and so this is chosen already. Now for the project SDK, I'll use Oracle JDK 17. And this is also installed in my system, and this is all about the configuration for the project. Then I do next, and in the next I will choose Jakarta EE9. So this will include most of the specifications compatible with server Glassfish 6.x. And this is the link to the website, which is jakarta.ee, and all the specifications are available here in the specifications path. So I've just chosen servlet. This should be sufficient for creating servlets. And then I will just click finish to create the project. So now my IDE is opened and I have the project structure created. So to see what all files I have, I see here this pom.xml, which contains the Maven file. And then I have in this there is var packaging option available, and then I have some properties which talks about the Maven compiler UTF-8. Then I have here the Jakarta Servlet 5.0 is there, and then there's JUnit and so there's a var plugin, Maven var plugin, which is the dependency and the build time. Now let's create few servlets. So let me first create a simple servlet. Okay, so to create a simple servlet, I will go to the source, and there's already a servlet already. There would be a code. So here, this is the hello world. Okay, I can just slightly change this directory. I will rename this package. So what I'll do is I'll go to refactor and I'll rename package. So it's Jakarta recipes.0.1. So I can do like this. So this will be a little better. So now I have created a hello servlet, and in this hello servlet you see there are Jakarta HTTP, Jakarta servlet.http package included, and also servlet.annotation included. Now to call this, what I'll do is let me create a new servlet from scratch and show you how to get a new servlet. So let's call our servlet a new servlet, which will be okay, so I'll just remove, it's not a normal class. I need to select the servlet, which is this option. Now when I click on the servlet, I have to give the name. I'll give the name as simple servlet. So this is the name of the name of my servlet, and then it creates annotations. So yes, I can create annotations, but for the time being, let me not have any annotations. I'll uncheck this and I'll create okay, because I can put the configuration in the web.xml. Now here is my simple servlet. There is a servlet name and servlet class as well. Now there is you should have a mapping, so context type servlet. So let's see what's there. Show inspection, and there is some action. Okay, so here yeah, nothing much is there. So let's try creating the servlet by putting the source code. So I'll go to the simple servlet code. See here the same packages, servlet.star and servlet.http.star are included. There's no annotation, web annotations, because we can create a web.xml. We just have seen this. So what I'll do, I'll create a string and I'll say message. Then I have I should create a constructor as well, and or a init method. So in servlet we have various methods. So let me put override and then pub. Then I would say public and void init, and this is my init method. Message equal to welcome to Jakarta EE. Okay, I can put like this, Jakarta EE and recipes. So this is my message, and I can put exclamation mark as well, and then I'll put a semicolon to end the statement. So this is my message. Now next I will create I'll create the doGet method, and in the doGet method I'll print some text which will come from message. So what I'll do is first thing is I will have to handle the response, and let me create a map, or yes, I'll do that later. So I'll have response dot set content type. Then I can have some content type here, which is HTML, and char set equal to UTF-8. Right, so this is my content type, set content type, which is text.html, and here there are various options. So you can choose text.html. So I can choose from here, and is there further options? So there are, the ID suggests various options. So this is the text option, and this is the character set UTF-8 option. So this is what first step is. Next is I'll create a try with print writer, and I'll call this out, and this is equal to response dot get writer. So this is how I can create a new writer to display some message, and then I can use some method. So I have printf method, which I can use. I will use a text block, and for getting a text block, okay, I'll get this and I'll close this, and I will have to print the message at appropriate place. So this is my text block. So message is coming. So So text block. So there should be the text language level to the text block. So I'll go to the module settings, and in this you have project and the text block, the language settings. I have to language level is SDK default is this one, so should be fine. And now I should paste the HTML which I want to output. So I'll paste it here, and I can just remove last line because yeah, I have this here. So this is my message, and I have to close my text block here. So then move this here, the body can go here. This is my so the language level is also set. So to set the language level, you have to go to the properties, SDK language level is set. Okay. Now this is all about the printing in get response. So what I can do is I can use the same response in the post as well. So let me extract this method to, so extract method. Now I will name this as process request. So same method, what I'll just call is process request, and then I'm done. So I have a process request method, and this is being called in the do get, and the same I can call in the do post as well. So this is about the servlet, which is a simple servlet which contains one dynamic content, which is request.get context path, and then the message. Now let's look into how to update the web.xml. So in the web.xml, I go, and first thing I need to do is I need to create a servlet, and then I need to also create a servlet mapping. So it's complaining about this, that I have a servlet, then I have the class name, which is Jakarta EE recipes.chapter1 simple servlet. This is exactly what we have given here. Now the next thing is to put the servlet mapping. So I'll put servlet mapping, and in the servlet mapping I have to give servlet name, which is simple servlet, and then I have to give the URL pattern. So URL pattern will point it to simple servlet, and this is how I would like to have the mapping. And then I can also give the welcome file list. So welcome file list is list of files which will open by default. So I save this, and this is my servlet. Let me see, I see some error here. So there is an unhandled exception, which is IO exception in the process request. So this we can add exceptions to method signature. So we can add like this, or we can handle with the catch block. Okay, so for the time being, let me add this in the exception signature. So this is all set, and now let me run this To run this, I have the services tab. So just to kind of get this services tab, I see that this is stopped. So I can just click on the run. So I want to run the simple servlet. So the options to run this simple servlet is from this web. I can need to build this and run it. So let's build this project. Build completed in 5 seconds, and then I should be able to deploy this. Next step is there is a var already created, so I can just start the server. Let me start the Glassfish server. I'll see the relevant messages about starting of this in the output window. So it has detected the server, it's waiting for the domain to start. Is starting the domain. So your admin port is 4848 and the normal server port is 8080. To just show the admin port, I'll open localhost 8080 and just I'll go to default port. So you see here the Eclipse Glassfish, your server is now running. And if I choose okay, I see there is the welcome page, but it has opened a simple servlet. So when I give this, I see welcome to Jakarta EE recipes, and this is how I'm getting the output. Now this is about the local host. This is the user facing page, welcome page, and the other one is for admin page. You can type 4848. So this is going to start an admin console, and where you can configure various properties about the servlet. So this is how you create a simple servlet and print some messages. So this is the admin interface where you have various configurations. We will keep it and we'll revisit the details of this application later. Just to look into the folder structure of this project, you have the source files, and when you compile this, you will get the target. And this contains classes, and classes will have COM example, the entire packages structure. Then you may have a lib folder as well. So these are the libraries. Yeah, right now there's no library. And then there is web.xml. So web.xml will be inside this. Okay, so yeah, you have here web.xml, and in this we have a simple servlet and still showing some message. So inspect options and okay, what's the problem here? Let's see. So servlet should have a mapping. So we have a servlet mapping. So should we put the mapping in front of this? Now let us look into creating a simple servlet, and this time we'll use annotations instead of deployment descriptor web.xml. So the steps to create a servlet is I go to new and then servlet. I will call it simple servlet and we'll say no descriptor. This is the name of the servlet. You can give any class name, and I use the annotation class. Here it's checked in. I make sure this part. Here are some inputs around this, that you have a servlet dialog, and then there's about the annotation. that if the checkbox is selected, the new servlet class will be annotated with @web_servlet, and no changes will be made in web.xml. If the checkbox is not selected, then the class mapping will be added to web.xml. So this is about the dialog. So I click OK, and here's my new servlet. And in this servlet, I have the name, which is simple servlet no descriptor. And then there could be a value, which is this one. So now let me create a private attribute. I'll call it string message, and then let me create an init method. So this is the init method, and I'll initialize here the message, and then I'll say some message here. Okay, I'll put some exclamation symbol. So this is the message. Now I have to add a response content type. So I will say response dot set content type. I can use text, HTML. This is my response, and then I will create a print writer from the response. So I'll use a try catch with resources. So I can use try, then print writer, and I'll use the print writer. I'll call this out instead of print writer, and I'll assign it response.getWriter, and then I can put some HTML code within this. So I have the HTML code here. I'll just reformat it, something like this. So now after formatting, I have this body, and I have to print the message as well. So you have a message. I can put here, maybe there is a message. So I'll put %s, and this could be the message. And then request.context. So so this is the first one, and then the second string could be a message. Now I have this servlet class ready, and this is for the doGet method, so that should be enough. And now let's run this. But yes, in case you want to handle this in both the methods, what I can do is I can extract this into a separate method. So I'll refactor, and then I will extract a method and call it process request. So this is my method, and I can throw here again the same servlet exception, IO exception. So now this process request I can call even in the do post. So my servlet can request for both the request types, which could be either get or post, and it will return the HTML page. Let's run this. So I will, but yeah, before doing this, I'll go to the index.jsp, and here we have the value as the simple servlet, and I would say, so this could be referred to simple servlet no descriptor. Simple servlet, I will no descriptor. Let's see. I'll run this. I will say redeploy, and it will redeploy, and then we will go to the servlet. So I'll say index.jsp to go to the JSP. So I have here two simple servlet, and this one is also printing the message as expected. So let me fix this. So yeah, you don't need to put, because we have kept this in the message. So I'll change this accordingly, because since we have the message, you don't have to explicitly type this. And I'll redeploy again because I made this change, and then let's see. So now it's redeployed. I'll refresh, and then yeah, this is printed once. So this is the simple servlet and value simple servlet, and let me put a URL pattern as well. URL patterns, I'll say it could be simple servlet no descriptor. So this is my URL pattern. If I use this URL pattern, then I don't need to provide. So here I can use simple servlet no descriptor. So yes, I've saved it, and instead of the exact name of the servlet, I can give some other name, which could be my URL pattern. So let's see what happens here. I will run this. I can go to index.jsp. It's not yet there. This is, I think the server would be getting started. Recipes chapter 1, and so this is index.jsp, could be let me try putting the name, and it says is there something missing here? /a/pr, and looks fine. No errors whatsoever here. Is there any problem? Cannot resolve simple servlet. Okay, the simple servlet is missing, so that's the problem. In simple servlet we don't have anything. Yeah, okay, got it. So here URL pattern, we can change it to simple servlet, and then the welcome file I will update here also. So this is simple servlet. I will try redeploying it again. Now the problem should have gone. I will go here. I will say redeploy. Okay, just a minute.